Hey everybody, Mo here, and today I'm bringing you guys some gameplay on the deck that won, one of the decks that won the $2,000 Mastering Runeterra tournament. So this is one of the bigger tournaments, bigger prize pool tournaments we've had in LOR for a long time. That obviously wasn't an official Riot tournament. One of the largest grassroots tournaments we've had in a long time. I think probably since the last Mastering Runeterra, like $5,000 tournament. And this one was taken down by Drisoth using this deck in his lineup. So this is Ashe Kindred. So this is very much a mid-range shadow, mid-range Frostbite control, Shadow Isle, Freljord control deck. I believe the idea behind this is to try and beat out all the other mid-range decks because we know Aatrox is going to be very popular. Aatrox is going to be very popular. Vayne is going to be very popular. A bunch of just popular random stuff. Aggro. This has okay game into aggro, some Vile Feast, some Fractures. There's like 1 mana removal spells, just pretty neat. You have the full pack of Rime Wolf and Ashe, so you can take care of anything, by turn 4 that you really need to. So I think that's the idea behind this deck. I think in practice, I was been told that this deck is not very good, and he said that he would not bring it again. But the fact that most players didn't know what this deck really did and they didn't actually know the power of it, they kind of just saw, oh, shoot, this is going to be Frostbite. This is going to be anti-mid-range deck, and I brought mid-range decks. I have to ban this now. It actually kind of just ate a ban for most of the tournament, I believe. I think I only got to see him play it once, and that was against Ikato in the top 8. And yeah, this deck kind of just ate a bunch of bans because players were just afraid of how it looked, because they're like, oh, it should beat my deck. But this would be a case of a deck that has a game plan but is just bad. Like, the cards are just weak, the game plan is just weak in general. But because you're a really good player, really strong player, and your opponents say, hey, this guy made it to top 8 with this deck, it's probably doing what they want to, they're gonna get some bans out of it. It kind of reminds me a lot of Alan from the very first World Championship, where he brought Ezreal Shellfolk. Way back when Shellfolk was extremely broken, but not a single other person, I believe, brought it. And it was very strong. We only got to see it, I believe, 1 game, and it won that game. Don't get me wrong, it won. But I think everyone kind of just banned it because they didn't want to deal with it, and they didn't know how to deal with it. And they just assumed, oh, if this guy's risking his world championship on this deck, it's probably very strong and very annoying. And that's kind of the same vibes I'm getting from this deck. So yeah, this is the deck. I'll have the deck code down in the description below. Shout out to Drisoth. I'll have his Twitter and all his links and stuff down, including his Discord down. There's links below too. So that's going to be it for this intro. Before we get into the games, I wanted to remind you guys that 72% of the people that watch my videos aren't actually subscribed to me. So if you guys could do me a huge favor and click that subscribe button in the comments. We're back with content going hard into 2023, the new year. Merry Christmas, by the way. I know it's Christmas, so Merry Christmas. Hope you guys are all enjoying it with your family. And yeah, we're gonna start up this last week of 2022 very strong, go into 2023 extremely strong with LOR content. So hope you guys enjoy that. Like, subscribe, comment, all that stuff for the YouTube algorithm, and let's get into the games. Record my mulligans, accidentally clicked the go live button. But yeah, I was saying I kept Kindred and Aatrox and Seraphine. And the idea was Kindred very strong, can take over the mid game, and Aatrox and Seraphine can stop any type of crazy aggressive opener they could have that could really worry us. This is going to be Acolyte deck, so that I think Acolyte deck kind of fell off. I said this in my Meta Monday. I think the deck kind of went down in power level because it got nerfed, and then all the other decks really didn't get nerfed, at least not nearly as hard. So it doesn't feel nearly as fair to Acolytes, but hey, deck was pretty silly. I'm not saying Aatrox isn't silly, but yeah. So gameplay here, we're just gonna try and take control of the game. We see we have our very much our control tools in our hand. So we have like the double quietus, we have the troll chant for protection. We could run this into them, but we don't really need to because next turn we'll have troll chant, and we're not really doing anything on this turn 3. You see here, turn 4, like, we're not really playing a minion next turn, so why go 1 for 1 here and then just have this dead troll chant? We can wait to see what happens here. Maybe they play, like a larger unit that we want to play. That could be pretty good for us. So that's fine. I don't particularly care about that. I think I'm still going to just play this Babbling Bjerg and just say like, hey, here's a 3/4. It's gonna have vulnerable, but who cares? Do something about it. So here is we could even do Babbling Beard, we can do Kindred, we could pass. Pass is also a very solid option, except we're burning a lot of mana. They're not burning any mana. So what we're gonna do here is probably just set up this Babbling Beard, get our Ashe, get ready to curve out. I believe Ashe is the only 5-power card, so it's essentially just, you know, 4 mana champion tutor. It's 4 mana 3/4 that tutors out your Ashe for you. We can even start beating in with this 4/3. The reason I really didn't want to give Kindred the vulnerable is because while I can save Kindred with this Troll Chant, and I'll probably draw at least one other freeze, like, you know, I did here with the Harsh Winds, I don't want to. You don't ever want to put yourself into a spot where you have to play reactive. Just because you can play reactive with your combat tricks doesn't mean you should. Like, it doesn't mean you should try and force yourself into being that way. Because this game is very reactive favorite, so it's very much whoever plays second is better. So, okay, so we got that. So we have Ruinous Acolyte. Yep, that's a pretty big boy. So what we can do here, can't really Troll Chant it. We can play Kindred, but then it's going to get Rolling Sands. That feels bad, man. But we have the Troll Chant here, and there's only one attack token here from your opponent before we can start leveling the Kindred and going crazy. So here's a Ziggs. Don't particularly care. We have the Troll Chant, which is good. So Troll Chant here will take our Kindred up to 5, put this down to 2, so 4. So Kindred will live at 1, which is pretty cool. And then we get to kill off their 2/1 as well here, which is pretty neat. Yeah, so we'll see what happens. We'll see if they even pull it. They probably just pull the 3/2 with the Ziggs, what I would do. I would just pull the 3/2 with Ziggs, but all in all, is what it is. People do how they do. So we're going to do this. So we're going to start by doing this. And I believe this marks the Ziggs. Yep. This marks the Ziggs. So that feels good, man. We're taking 5 here, but we get to draw a card. So we're in an okay spot. The not Shatter, the Quietus in our hand is doing not particularly great. Okay, well, Shatter just got much better off of that play, so we're going to go ahead and click OK here. Our Kindred lived with 1 HP. That's feels good. Pokestick could be a bit of a nuisance for us, but hopefully it is what it is. Is this the Pokestick? Let's see what happens. Yep, there's the Pokestick, and that's okay, and not too much we could do here. That's what I said, putting yourself in a spot where you have to play, defensively is typically not ideal, because now you see, like, we knew we were going to have to play that Troll Chant that turn, which means we didn't have it for the future. Oh, okay, that's fine. Let's go ahead and just Quietus this. And then we can swing and then just Quietus the second Ziggs because we have Ashe. I think our opponent just doesn't realize what Ashe does. Just pretty neat. Yeah, so we're going to trade Ashe for a Ziggs. That doesn't sound very worth it, but we have a Rekindler, and this Ziggs is going to get so much more value than our Ashe currently is going to. So we're just going to click OK here. And we're going to go ahead and kill off the Ziggs. And they're down to 1 Ziggs. Again, we have our Rekindler to bring back our Ashe. So we're kind of chilling. So we're kind of doing okay here. Oh, nice. We can even have 2 Ashe in play. That's kind of huge. That's kind of huge. I really like that play. I think we're going to go Ashe, and the next turn we can Rekindler. Ooh, okay. All right, that's pretty rough, but like I said, we have the Rekindler here. We could just play second Ashe, but I like playing Rekindler and then having the Ashe spell in my hand. Having a cheap burst speed Frostbite's gonna be really nice. This 5 mana Frostbite's just a tad bit expensive. Played around second Unraveling Earth, feels good, man. And yeah, now they just don't have a good attack because we just double block. But if they don't do this attack, then they just never get to do anything ever again because we're permanently frostbiting them. Yeah, so feels good. So we're kind of doing work here. The double Rolling Sands is very annoying if we ever try to further develop. Oh, That's really annoying. But like I said, we have the second Ashe, so not the worst thing in the world. Again, still don't particularly have a good attack into us because of the fact that we just go double block, play Ashe, kill you. So this is pretty good. This can eat one of the Rolling Sands because it's going to trade away anyways. Not going to trade away because we have the Ashe, but they don't know that. So it really comes down to what they play here. I'm down to just take a pass if they want to pass. I'm down to slam Ashe if I want to slam Ashe. Slamming Ashe here doesn't do too much because I basically force it to just shatter. Pokey stick. Okay, I think I'm forced into shattering now anyways. I really don't want to give Ashe vulnerable. So I think I'm down to just click OK and just see what they do. Because worst case scenarios, we have like harsh winds and stuff. Oh, yep, there's Mr. Acolyte. When you destroy me, create Acolyte's Reliquary. Yep. We all know how Acolytes work. So how do we deal with this is the question. So I think we're going to pass and see if they play this Acolyte. Let's see it. Okay, so they do go ahead and play it. You see, maybe there's a chance they blow this up, but who knows. So now we don't even really have a good Ashe attack. But what we can do is just play it as a blocker. Then we have Harsh Winds to do stuff with. So we can do this. We can at least kill one of these here. And this way we can trade next turn and be pretty happy. Because we have the Harsh Winds. And then we level our Ashe, can try and get aggressive that way. So we're going to do something like this. Get this kill. Okay, and if they try to swing in with one or two of these, we have our Harsh Winds. We have Fractures, pretty whatever. Not really going to do much in this matchup. So we're kind of just stalling at this point until we either get our Harrowing in play or we just completely wipe their board. We need them to go in for a gritty-ish attack, and then we can kind of just start to pop off here. But yeah, Acolytes are good. Acolytes are good, so we're gonna do okay. This Fracture could come in clutch here because they have 5 HP now, so our Rekindler could go block and we could Fracture, deal 1 to it. That's pretty nice. Yep, bring it back. Yep, get another one. Yep, Fractured is not much for us anymore. And click OK. And we're looking like we're in a not very great spot here. So they pulled a 5-3 with the 5-3. Oh no, buddy. No. Why would you attack like this? You could have just pulled Ashe with a 5-3. No. Oh no, chat. Oh no. The miss blocks. The miss blocks. Okay, I don't know how much it actually matters. So we're just gonna go ahead and swing here, kill this, and we're just gonna take control of the game now. They only have 4 cards. They are gonna get a Acolyte like every turn, but I don't want to say it shouldn't matter because it will definitely outgrind us if we don't draw a banger card soon. But we can hope it doesn't matter soon. Like, we can try our hardest to get there. Yep, there's Acolyte. This guy's top decked Acolyte every turn. That's okay. We're gonna save this until we get a big attack, hopefully, or at least a very big defense. They know about it, so they probably shouldn't develop into it. But you know, maybe they're bad. We saw their previous attack, so you know, maybe they're not very good. Summon a Scrappy Bomb. Okay, so they're going aggro here. Going mucho aggro here. Yep. Pretty good. Okay. On the bright side, they didn't top deck, you know, they're another Acolyte, so that's good. There's another Ashe, that's good. Okay, we can just Vengeance this. That's fine. Hope for no deny. They've been holding the card in their right hand forever now, so yeah. Does not surprise me, it's a deny. But very close game. Almost brought it back, but they drew the Reliquary. Sorry, it's Kindred, Nasus, and then one, I assume like one of Callista. Or it looks like it's Kindred, Callista, one of Nasus. This hand is very solid. I really like this hand. I like all of it. I like the early game to stop any type of crazy aggro aggressions they could have. I like the double Kindred because one Kindred backup and then the second, or because we have the Kindred and then the Kindred can be either a backup Kindred or it could be a Spirit block or a Spirit Journey, which is a very solid card here. So we don't even need to play this Aatrox and Sentry because we're not doing anything turn 3. Again, just like game 1, look at, we have 4-drop. This card's not really a unit. Like, you just use it to combo with Shatter. This is Sentry Flock. I like, you play Ravenous Sentry, or is it no, it's not Ravenous Sentry, what's it called? Arachnoid Sentry and then Ravenous Flock as, you know, this 4 mana kill anything combo. I mean, this is basically that, except it's only costs 3 mana. It's kind of pog. So that's why I use that. And so here now we can play our Sentry. Sure, buddy. So here's our Sentry. We're not gonna block this 2/2. Don't particularly care about it. Or just click pass. And then yeah. And then Kindred is actually pretty not good into the Undying. The Undying is a pretty good Kindred counter. Because we can often just kill it many times. Yep, not much we can do there. So once it gets too big, then that's good. But yeah, until it starts like actually growing, your Kindred's just gonna auto kill the what's his name, and that's not the Undying, and that's not particularly great. So here we're just gonna go ahead and click Kindred. We're gonna click the Kindred button. If they match with their Kindred, we don't really care, because we have this Troll Chant. So okay, pop Spell Shield. I mean, that's fine. We have ways to pop Spell Shield. We have Troll Chant. We have you know, double Shatter if we absolutely need to, which, you know, this goes through Troll Chant, which is pretty neat. Oh, Rhyme Test Shaman's really good. There's Kindred. I mean, that's fine. I'm down to just click the pass button here and just not do anything. I'm also down to I'm down to just do this. Tell my opponent to do something. I mean, if we do this, we just like offer to kill their Kindred. So I'm down for that. We have the Troll Chant. I mean, again here, this is a really tricky play. We could just do this, and this again offers to kill their Kindred. The only issue is now we're giving them 2 Undyings, which is pretty funny. But I really like this play. Okay, well, they surrendered, but I like that play because it stops them from drawing cards and it kills their Kindred, so good for us. Alright, so here we're against the Quinvane Aatrox. So this is I believe this is the deck that our deck is trying to beat, and this is the deck that everybody was afraid of running into this matchup for. So they were just like, oh, I'm gonna ban the Ashe Kindred so I don't have to actually play it. Again, in practice, what I've been told in you know, some Discord chats is that, you know, Drisoth himself has said this deck is pretty bad and he would not play it again, and it's pretty bait. So we'll see how, you know, it actually plays up. So this is the matchup everyone was talking about and everyone was afraid of, and probably the entire reason the deck was brought in the first place. So we'll see. You know, in practice, not on paper, not theories, not theoreticals. We'll see in an actual game of how this deck ends up doing in this matchup. So here again, this is the Vayne Quinn version. It's not the Aatrox Kane. So this is very much going to be the challengers, try and get quick attack, all that type of stuff. We're going to pass. I don't particularly care about killing this Featherfleet tracker because they could play a pump spell and make me extremely sad. Whereas here, I'm okay with killing this. Destroy with 2 or less. You could also wait to use this to kill off a... use it to kill off the quick attack weapon. But I think we're okay with just taking this trade. The quick attack weapon, it will be very annoying if we can let them keep a board. But I'm planning to just try and kill them with Frostbites. And kill them... Excuse me, with board. Oh, Shatter is really cool. Shatter would have been a 1-mana Quietus, so we could have kept our Quietus. But we didn't have it at the time, and I didn't plan to play around it. So yes, that's pretty neat thing. We also could have played our Rem Fangwolf there, and it could have traded. If we had Troll Chant, that would have been really good. But you see here, we're kind of lacking in the spell department, which is not very good in mid-range matchups. typically you want to have, you know, a nice little, you want to have like 75% units and then like 25% combat tricks a lot of the time, or even 50% units if the units are really good. 50% units and 50% good combat tricks, and that's typically how you're going to be able to win these matchups. So let's go and just play our Rhymefang Wolf, see what happens here, and see if they have the equipment. If they do, we'll just shatter. Yep, there's the equipment. So here we just shatter. We're just going to go ahead and set that to 0. Then we get to play our Ashe next turn. And then we're going to force out a combat trick from them. Let's see how it goes. Oh, wait, that's a really good card. So we're going to save that for Kindred, because next turn we can play Kindred and Vile Feast, which is pretty nice. Another thing we could have done last turn is just pass. We didn't even have to really play this Rhymefang Wolf, but if we don't, you see how we're really gunked up on units? Is we just really need to play our units out, because we're not saving spell mana for anything. Like, the only spell we had in our hand before this turn was 1 mana shatter, so there's no real reason to burn a bunch of mana. So there's the fish fight. I mean, that's fine. We'll just go ahead and kill this off here, force them to have another combat trick like a catch or something like that, and they don't have it, so very good for us. Any sort of frostbite would be pretty solid here. We have Vile Feast, which is pretty good. Vile Feast kills that, which is good. Again, we have Kindred Vile Feast, so I think we're looking pretty okay, especially if they spend a lot of their mana here. I'll feel pretty happy. Let's just see what they do. I think it's safe to say they don't have Sharp Sight or Catch. I think if I had Sharp Sight or Catch there, I would just make this trade. I especially, like, I would just make the trade of killing off the Rhymefang, just go 1 for 1. But, you know, we'll see. We'll see what they end up doing. If they have Vayne. Okay, so we have Kindred. So this is exactly what we were wanting them to do, was Vayne and then play this. This is a very low elo move. This is one of those moves where it's like, this person is probably here. Okay, so yeah, so we're just going to go ahead and Vile Feast. Because if they have some sort of combat trick or something, then, like, they're going to use it anyways. They're very clearly not using Darkened Heart for some reason. So our goal is to try and figure out why. Yeah, see, like, this reason is not a good reason. This is very much a player that kind of just got here with the new MMR boosting, and that's why they're... Because you also should attack with this every time. So yeah, I guess this is what new Masters players are. Is what it is, I guess. So let's go ahead and, I mean, let's just frostbite this guy or girl. And yeah, our guy's not gonna be super huge. It's only a 3/3, but what it does is it essentially enables us to put the Vayne at 0. So our Rhymefang's threatening it. They could try and kill off like Kindred, and that's fine. They could try and kill off the Rhymeflux, so that's fine. Sure. So here we're just gonna go 1 for 1. Like, we can trade champions. We're ahead in resources. And not only are we ahead in actual resources, but our resources in our hand are pretty banger. This is going to literally draw us an Ashe. This is going to lock down any unit that they play. And this is just another, you know, threat. So if they do find a way to kill that off, and then perfect time for a flash freeze. Actual perfect time for a flash freeze. So we have this. They're probably going to attack because I think this player is not very good. Yeah, no respect for this player. So I'm just going to go ahead and beat them up a whole bunch. And yeah, once you kind of have a read that the person you're playing against is really bad, you kind of just don't respect any of their possible plays. You kind of just say, oh, this person's bad, and they're just going to do the most textbook, like, obvious plays possible. And that's okay. And sometimes people, that's just called risk assessment, something I'm very good at. A lot of people will be like, oh, Mo, you're so crazy. What if they had this card, that card, that card? And it's like, this person's played like a donkey the whole game. You don't have to worry about them having super secret tricks. You know, they've held this card this entire game, so this card on the far right is probably going to be another Aatrox. It's going to be like another Aatrox, or it's going to be something very expensive. You know, there's no reason for them to be having combat tricks. We know they didn't have a combat trick because this person's not very good, so they probably would jump at the chance to go 1 for 1 with the combat trick earlier to kill off our Rhymefang Wolf. So it's pretty safe to say these two cards right here are not going to be either catch or neither catch nor sharp sight or anything like that. Like, maybe a Ranger's Resolve. I could see it being that. But yeah, this is very much a player that just wants to throw their cards down and slam the go next button. But it looks like they're just roping us here. Ashe did them in. I don't even think they're dead. 3-6. Are they dead here? Yeah, they're not dead technically, but they are fairly dead. Oh, I guess we missed out on 2 damage. Here's the Ashe level up. But yeah, I mean, I guess technically this deck beat. I mean, the deck it's supposed to. It's an anti-mid-range deck with a bunch of frostbites, and it beat the mid-range deck. Kind of. I mean, I don't think our opponent was necessarily the best, but it did what it needed to do. If they slam Aatrox, we have Crystal Arrow. I mean, I'm down to just play the Rhyme Wolf and tell my opponent to do something, or I'm also down to just pass. But yeah, it looks like they just rage quit. They either alt F forward or, you know, whatever. So it's what it is. Welcome to Masters Ladder in 2023 or 2022. Hopefully they make a slight changes in 2023, either add a challenger tier or something. I don't know. But anyways, that's gonna be it. Cool. So let's do a quick recap of the deck. All right, so we played 3 games. We went 2-1. Not the worst, you know, not the worst score, not the worst score ever. So 66%. Even the 1 game we lost, I felt like it could have been winnable if they just didn't have Acolyte Landmark. But you know, if they don't have Acolyte Landmark, then what the fuck are they playing that deck for? That's like saying, you know, we wouldn't win if we didn't draw our champions, or you know, something like that. Like, very clearly their deck is supposed to draw Acolytes and supposed to do Acolyte stuff. So saying the words, if the Acolyte deck didn't draw Acolytes, we would have beat them, is a pretty stupid statement. But it was still fairly close. What really did us in was the vulnerable landmarks. That was very strong. If they had cards that weren't the vulnerable landmarks, we could have had a more fighting chance. But all in all, I don't think this deck is horrible. I can definitely see the power level of the deck just being very low. I think if your opponent has any amount of combat tricks or spells at all, you just lose. Because you just cannot deal with spells. This is very much a boomer deck. This is a deck of just like, I'm going to run my units at you and try to outvalue you with units, and then your opponent Seraphine is just going to laugh, and then your opponent Aatrox deck that has, you know, spells and combat tricks is just going to laugh. The Kane deck is just going to laugh at you. Even Red Gwyn is just going to sit there and laugh at you. So a lot of mid-range decks that actually have spells and ways to contest your one champion. Essentially, you're like one real unit here. Like these are your only real units. If they can kill off this 2-3, then you're probably not going to be in a good spot. So that's going to be it for this video. All in all, I'd say that, yeah, this deck's probably a little baity. You're probably better off just playing just a better deck. Like, if you want to beat Aatrox, Vayne, Quinn, literally just play Aatrox, Vayne, Quinn, and then just tech it more for the mirror match. Just get a little bit more greedy. Play, you know, Bandle City Seraphine. You know, like there's so many better ways to try and beat that deck other than playing like tier 9 counter decks, and that's essentially what this is a tier 9 counter deck, probably like a tier 5 counter deck, because it actually has the chance of beating stuff. But yeah, I'll leave the deck code down in the description below if you guys want to experiment with this. I know a lot of people are Freljord fiends, and anytime there's a good Freljord deck that's not control, people love it. So link to this down in the description below, as well as, again, all the link to Drisoth stuff. Congrats again to him for winning that huge $2,000 tournament. Big feat for him. I actually don't know if he's won a tournament until this. So if this is his first tournament win, big congrats to him. So he's gonna pop off. We're getting ready for the next 2023 year, and we're gonna go crazy that year. We have a group of people, a group of NA players that are, and Brazil players, South America, a group of America's Shard players that are, you know, gonna go wild. So look out for that next year. Look out for that, and deck description, like, comment, subscribe, all that type of stuff, and I'll see you guys in the next video.